meet the third step to a fundraising plan, strategy. It is on this step that you will trace a good strategy for a good fundraising to your institution. The strategy to raise can be built in different ways since it is part of your objective, of a technique, and of the audience targeted. Start by setting. What is your objective? What is the aim to raise? To what project or purposes are you going to raise for? What technique to use? How will you get an approach to your partners or donors? What audience would you approach? Where or who to get this resource with? Who would the partner be, the donor or the ideal investor? As there are many different techniques for fundraising, different supporters as well, once you have in mind what your mission and causes are in your projects and aims, you must choose the best combination among them. See these examples. If the objective of your funding is to build, refurbish, or to expand the office, and you pick out the technique bond with owners, you must get prepared to approach individuals and companies in general. Foundations are not sponsors to construction buildings. In case the objective of funding is new programs, if you choose fundraise with individuals, a good technique is crowdfunding. Let's go through 3 pillars a little bit more to set a good strategy for the success. What is the objective of your funding? To help you understand what the aim of your funding is and what resources to use, you should check your strategic plan to set priorities, your projects, and review budgets, goals, and schedules. It is wise to understand the nature of funding. See some examples. Annual campaigns. Those are campaigns to guarantee the maintenance and the operational cost. Global Action Day. An annual campaign on the social assistance which pays tributes to those workers who died on duty yearly. The world needs more. Print your name in Grax history. With a single donation, you write your name in the Grax history. Fighting and healing cancer on children. 2. Capital campaigns. Those are temporary campaigns on specific objectives. For example, building refurbish, purchase a new building, to raise a patrimonial fund, or even set a new program. Telethon is a TV marathon program which aims raising funds to expand their AACD buildings and to raise awareness to handicapped people's chances and respect. Hospital Syrio-Libanese refurbish. With the campaign, the hospital nearly doubled its size. 3. Single actions. Those are parties, celebrations, events. For example, the tribute for the 10 years of an institution. Charity party, Grant a Smile. Charity Galinhada, Alex Atala. A charity lunch. A master chef cooks for an association for funding the construction of a laundry and kitchen to an association. What technique to use? As there are many techniques for funding, it is important to know them and to choose the right technique to every occasion, a suitable one to every situation. 1. Face-to-face meeting. Those are meetings where the organization introduces themselves face-to-face to the partners. 2. Email marketing and mail. Those are letters, printed materials, and cyber materials sent by either the post office or email, introducing the organization and asking for donations. 3. Telemarketing. They are fundraising phone calls by specialized companies or by the organization itself, calling a potential preset donors list. 4. Internet site. It is a relatively easy technique where the organization gets donations through their own homepage. 5. New medias, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Those are new technologies and methods of communication for online divulge. 6. Crowdfunding. It is a group financing technique and collaborative construction which brings resources of many individuals through an online platform. 7. Matching donations. It is known as matching gifts, in which to every amount donated to an institution, the company, family, or individual donates one extra amount to that institution. 8. Contests, prizes, and chain support. Here the organizations take part in a selection process, and the selected ones have the opportunity to get resources, credibility, visibility. 9. Events. The technique to organize events brings the organization more publicity and the mobilization of people to a cause besides the raise funding. 10. Partners indicating partners. This is a technique known as member get members, and it is aimed to broaden the net of collaborators coming from the friends of current donors. 11. Marketing related to a cause, MRC. It is a commercial partnerships between the organization cause and a company with the aim to sell a determined product and donating part of the sales to the cause. 12. All donors reconnection. This is a technique aiming to reapproach the lost donors left behind, whose records on their first donation to the institution is recovered. 13. Obtaining resource from product, sales and services. This is a technique to obtain resources through the sales of products and services, and at the same time they divulge the cause and name of the organizations. The fundraised turn into a free resource so the organization use on their activities. Check for more details on our site www.captamos.org.br. Now that you know the most used techniques, we shall choose the best fit to the moment and to decide who to approach of the techniques. Then the question, how to know what audience to get and approach to? Check the main alternatives. 1. Raising funds with individuals. The donations by individuals has the advantage of being free and not labeled to a specific project. The individuals in general donate on the cause that they feel more attracted to them. The challenge your organization will face is to praise and keep many individuals for long periods of time as donors. 2. Fundraising with enterprise. Here we expect to raise a higher amount of resources. Have in mind that companies have as their aim to make profits to their shareholders. Then be clear and objective as to the benefits and return to their image you can bring them. 3. Fundraising with foundations and national and international institutes. Here the organization participates in a bid or present proposals, and being selected, they raise higher resources, sometimes in multiple years, and more focused in the project and its mission. Foundations that add credibility to your cause. 4. Fundraise with public entities. Public entities usually finance innovating projects, or they make agreements so that the organizations provide them with assistance work. 5. Fundraise with multilateral entities or bilateral international entities. It is a great opportunity to raise resources of other governments or international entities and to take part in a global net. Usually they open bids with much resources and on at least a 2-year time basis. 6. Fundraise along with religious institutions. It is a good option when you are part in a religious community. 7. Fundraising with private social institutions and social impact investors. These two profiles of donors are aware that your investment brings them social measured return, while the social private investor, foundations and corporates bring in an investor mind. In the case of a social impact investors, they also see business models with products and services, bringing some finance performance, distributing dividends, or reinvesting all the amount. Well, now that you learned the tips for objective, techniques, and approach, it is time to detail your strategy. In case you had set your fundraise for the refurbish or your building or refurbish atelier using the technique or reaccess all donors, you could, for example, go over your donors' backgrounds, try to get through with them to know the reasons they left, to plan an event for reapproaching them and to introduce new plans. Action plan, to organize and plan all annual actions for funding. The annual plan for fundraising must present in details all the actions to be done along with every donor along the year. It is time to hand out the activities a long time. With the annual plan to raise funds, all the teamwork will be able to organize themselves for each of their activities. Follow our example. January, send emails to thank donors on the Christmas campaign on the previous year showing results. February, plan new partnership proposals. March, Start introducing new proposals to possible donors. April, follow up on the old donors. And so on. You have just learned the third stage for steps of fundraising strategy. Remember, you can consult more material and tips on our site www.captamos.org.br or www.4steps.com.br.